What's up, guys? So I was gonna start doing videos. Here is my monster project, is what I've been calling it in some of my other videos on Facebook. On Facebook, find this at Woodworth's Repair. I have a Facebook page up there. I've been posting little videos. This is gonna be the start of some YouTube stuff. I'll throw some of my other videos on Facebook up. And mainly, like I said, in some of my Facebook stuff, my son's here, sorry. Hey, Bubba, hang on. Shh, quiet, buddy. Go play. My kid's so lucky he gets to jump on four-wheelers and play around in my shop. We keep an eye on him, but. So, the Monster Project, so this is all educational purposes. This might hurt me locally for people that get to know me and find out about my YouTube channel. Because I'm going to start teaching people how to repair small engine stuff. So this might be bad for business. So to make it good for business, make sure you like and subscribe. But it's a dying trade. They have really short classes, small engine repair, but it just gives you the bare bones basics. And there is tons and tons of different styles, wiring, types of small engines, from weed eaters, chainsaws, riding mowers, four-wheelers, motorcycles. Span out and show them the shop. Chinese quads. It changes. They don't go into detail on all the little, they never go into detail of the really, really important stuff, okay? Or little detail stuff, I should say. So let's get right into it. Here's one educational piece. This here was the motor that was on this, okay? And it popped. A piece of useful information. This is a Kohler Courage motor, and I'll let you guys know right now, there's people that love Kohler, there's people that love Briggs and Stratton, Husqvarna. It really doesn't matter, okay? When you're in this industry, for those who do this professionally and do this on a regular basis, you learn really quick. Kohler has really good and really bad motors, okay? The stuff you're gonna buy at Lowe's and Home Depot could be the same exact mower, okay? Exact same one, but if you buy it at Homes or Lowe's or Home Depot, whatever, it's gonna be cheaper than you go into the dealership and you pay for it, and it's just not where it's being sold. They put cheaper stuff because that's where it's being sold. People are going for the budget stuff. Same mower in a Kohler dealership, or a Cub Cadet dealership, two different Kohler engines, this is a Home Depot motor right here, guaranteed. Kohler Courage, they're horrible. This is a Kohler Command, okay? The Kohler Command is one of Kohler's best motors. It's almost one of the best motors you can get for any riding mower. Not only that, this thing's getting a large horsepower upgrade compared to the Courage. So I'm gonna tell the owner, to be careful on the gas pedal, be gentle. But yeah, just give me just a second and I'm going to get into the wiring on this, guys. Let me swap camera angles and I'll get right back with you. Okay, so here's one of the problems we're having. Let's see if we can get this in here. Let me grab the camera from my wonderful wife, camera woman. So this is the plug that is coming from the Cub Cadet, okay? The mower side. So in here, I cut the other side just so the guy still has a plug, and I'm gonna custom fit it to this plug. Now this one you'll see has the flat pins, okay? This one has the circular round plugs in it. So now we have to make sure that we're wiring it right, and these wires, you have to make sure are wiring to this correctly, but they're different colors. I've had a lot of requests on this, okay? And I actually kind of hacked into it a little bit to show you guys kind of how this works. Now, There's two types of ignition systems on these, and they go a couple different ways. So the main thing you have to know is you have your pickup coils, okay? Down here, thank you. So here's your pickup coils. So underneath here's your stator. It works like an alternator and it charges your system, okay? It charges your battery, gives your coil spark to run your spark plug, fire the cylinder, okay? These are worthless. You can pull this off and it'll still run, no problem, okay? I've tested this motor, I just had it fired up earlier. That would have been a cool video just to test it, but it does run, so we're moving forward. This is just your kill switch, okay? So the stator will charge and run your coil and charge your battery and all that stuff on its own. You get this thing running, it'll run by itself, not connected, until it runs out of gas. It'll run forever, okay? So this here, what we got on this plug is we have the two red wires, right? Well, if you follow them up, okay, you have a diode, and this makes sure that it only goes one way. It doesn't go back and fry your stator, but if you follow it, it goes two wires into one, and it comes over here, and it ends, and it's not connected to anything. This is for a different style of ignition system, okay? And that is probably a different video. If I can find a way to show you how that wires up, this will be cool. But for you guys that have the floating secondary ignition, you just ignore it, okay? So that makes it really easy. So your two red wires just disappeared, okay? You don't even have to worry about those, okay? We know what white does. White goes to your coils and it kills your motor. When you turn the key off, what it does is it takes the electricity through here instead of going to your spark plug, and that's what kills your motor, okay? So now you have your purple wire. And your purple wire, let's go to the other side of the mower, comes all the way over here. Now somewhere on any small engine, you're gonna have two wires coming out, okay? This is for your stator / your alternator for you car guys. On two engines, small engines, they call them stators, okay? And this, if you follow it up, turns into your purple wire, okay? So your purple wire is gonna be your charging system that charges your battery. Now this plug, I know you don't see it right now, but it hooks up into this. And it's dirty. I'm gonna clean all this up for the customer before he comes and grabs it. But this is a rectifier, okay? All small engines run on alternating current. They run to AC. This turns it into direct current, so it'll charge your battery without frying it. So they call those rectifiers. So now, so we know this is your key cutoff. We know this is your charging system, and the green goes to your carburetor. And what it does is it goes to the bottom of your float bowl and it plugs it when you turn off your motor, and it keeps it from backfiring. It's a backfiring solenoid plug on the bottom of your carb. So what it comes down to, when you see all these wires, right? Now this one runs to the solenoid on the starter, okay? And so you turn the key, it turns the starter on, turns the motor over. Now here's the problem. This one did not have the solenoid on the starter, okay? So on the mower itself, the old motor, the one we were just looking at, just had the starter. It did not have the solenoid added to it. So this has a secondary solenoid down under here. So what I did was not the side that's hooked to the battery, because it'll just turn over and turn over until it dies. So I can show you this. So if you swapped motors and you went from something that had a solenoid, which I cannot find my old solenoid, I wonder if I threw it out. Let's see. Yep, I threw out my old solenoid. So sorry about that, but you have your solenoid, it has the two posts. The post not hooked to the battery is what you do. Here, give this back to her. So you'll have your solenoid, and it'll have two posts coming out, and one will go to your battery. What you need to do is not the one with the battery, the other one, hook a wire to that and come up to your solenoid switch here, and you can see it how I ran it under the mower. So this technically now has two solenoids. This wire and this wire are going to do the same thing. Okay, but unfortunately it's in the back of the mower. I don't feel like running down the entire wire harness, so this is the easy jump. Okay, just connect the wire to the other solenoid and it'll work just the same, even though it has two now. So white is always going to go to white, and you can follow this. I look over here, right? I look at the coil over here on this one, and it has a white wire, right? So it hooked to the white wire here, and the white wire is still the white wire on this motor, so I know this white wire can hook to this white wire. Boom. When I turn off the key now, here, and I'll show you how I'm going to do this too. Let's go ahead and strip this. Okay, these are supposed to be red, these two, and it's because they're sun baked and they are power. So, but this white one is going to be to the kill switch, so let me go ahead and strip that. Okay, and I have a bunch of plugs over here. So I got my standard plug. Okay, and make sure you're going where you're going, you know, make sure you follow this stuff down. Sometimes if you're lucky, really lucky, you can find pinout diagrams online. This one did not have one. So we're gonna go up here, get that in there pretty good, and give it a squish. Okay. Now she's connected real good. Give her a yank. Oh, she came off, so I need to do it again. Because the vibration, you don't want that popping off when it's running. This is why whenever I do this, I put a fuel cutoff switch. Sounds like I need to take care of my daughter real quick, guys. We'll be right back. Okay, my little monster was hungry, so now I got a good solid connection to my white. This is a ground, and so this will kill your motor when it's done, but since I got slip connectors here, I just slide it in there, and now it's gonna have dual connections. So, and this will run this way. I have the bolt up there. I want to rewrap this all up, make sure it's protected. So your ground is ground, you know, you're good. Now when I turn off the key, the motor will stop. Now luckily, same way for this, the purple and purple match, okay? So this should be your charging system. I'm gonna do the same thing to this. You probably won't have to watch it. So what you'll do is after you do the kill, what I would do, and the purple charging station or system, okay, is you'll get it running, pour some gas in, get some gas going to her, run it. So when you're running it, you know, you'll run it, turn your key off, make sure it kills the motor. That's the big thing, the white negative. You know you have that wired correctly. The second thing you're gonna wanna do is when it's running and you got the purple wire connected up to the stator, you're gonna wanna take a voltmeter, put it on volts. 20 volts will be fine. Cheap Harbor Freight, I think this is like $6. You can't go wrong with it. I have a nicer one, but it's at my house, not at my shop. And you hook it to your battery and you should be at 14 volts, around 14, 14.5. That means your stator's hooked up right, your alternator, and it's charging your battery. Second part's done. Third part, okay, is going to be to the fuel shutoff. Now here's the thing. Now that I'm saying this, I recognize I made a mistake, because this thing will not start and run until you get that valve plug wired in as well. To do that, you take your voltmeter again, right? Okay, we're at 20 volts. The battery only runs 12. You should be pretty safe. Okay, let's get this set up where you guys can see it. So Now these are the red wires, okay? They're supposed to be red, they look white, sun baked them. So I'm gonna plug into them, right? And I'm gonna touch ground and watch my voltmeter. I got nothing, right? So when you hook power to your carburetor, it pulls the plunge. There's a little electrical diode in there, solenoid, pulls the plunge and it lets gas fill up the carburetor and it starts using gas. So if you don't have that wired up, it'll be plugged. You're never gonna get gas in your system, it won't start. So you turn the key to on, okay? And there's only 2 on this system. So I'm going to the red wire, hitting a ground with the key on, and I found power, okay? So when you follow this green wire to the carburetor, you know that green wire is to the carburetor plunger, okay? So now that I know that, I'll hook my purple to my stator. This red wire, even though it's white, it's red on one side, it's sun baked on the other. Okay, we'll go to the green. Those 3, forget the rest. You're good. This thing will run, it'll turn off with the key. As long as your battery's charging, your stator's good. You know, you get power to the starter and turn the motor over, you can spray, I don't recommend this on small engines, but you can spray just a small squirt of starter fluid, make sure it kicks on and turns, okay, and runs, you know the motor will run, you're good. So right now, since I've done that, I don't know if my fuel pump's gonna run or other stuff, you know, so I have some more work to do. But this should be wired up enough that I can throw in some gas and check it, make sure the battery's charging, and that's it. So I know when you see small engine stuff, and this is the same for 4-wheelers, riding mowers, all of it, if you know what you're looking for, they're pretty bare bones basic, and I'll show you, okay? So if you come over here, this is a small engine on a quad, right? So your stator's over here, your charging system, your pickup coil's here, and these are your main wires coming out of your engine block, okay? And it's gonna go over here to a rectifier, changes your alternating currents to direct current to charge your battery, okay? It goes into a CDI box for this. On most quads you have a controller box, and it tells it when to fire, and it has power to it, and then it goes to your coil, shoot your spark, and I know this is a jumbled mess. The stator and the pickup coil got cut, and I wanted it done right for the customer, so I ordered the parts in. So they're wired all the same. Lawnmowers, your push mowers are even easier. There's absolutely nothing to them. There's no batteries. But you know, all small engines, they're wired the same. And some of you guys, if you're not on my Facebook video, I got a really informational video on these Chinese quads on my Facebook video about wiring. Because on the Chinese quads, it does not matter what the color of the wire is, it's where it's going, okay? Same thing with that. The Chinese like to save money, not using extra wires, so you'll get red wires that go into blue wires and all sorts of craziness, and they're meant to be that way. So yeah, I hope that was informational, and maybe here in a second when I get this thing all fired up and done, we'll go ahead and start it and I'll show you.